Oh boy. Did you forget about me? Did you miss me? Because I missed you. Go wash your filthy hands. Take your shoes off. Yo. Welcome back to another episode, another installment of Late Nights with Reem. It is your host, your flyness, REEMSDOPE. But remember, it is only one of me. Yes, I'm a DJ. You can still book me, send me an inquiry, and I can send you an invoice. And like the weddings we about to do this fall, we about to get the party rocking. Of course, first things first. How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? Let me hear it. Damn. They still tripping off of that. Man, I know. I'm going through it too, dog. Family be blowing minds. But you know, we gonna do what we gotta do for us. You feels me? We gonna keep the show going regardless of what they think. Shucks. Anywho, y'all, welcome back again. Like I said, Late Nights with Reem. Go ahead. We're going to start it early. If you have not already, follow the podcast page, which I see people, I see y'all messing with the page. Y'all messing with the reels. You know what I'm saying? So I just need y'all to go ahead and follow that page. And that page is, as I keep telling you, LNWR Pod. Instagram, Facebook. And you know I'm Reem's Dope everywhere. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, everywhere. If you can find Reem's Dope, you can find the Late Nights with. We just gonna call it that. You know what I'm saying? We where the wild things are today. Man, this past week has been very trying, very interesting. If I do say so myself in personal life, yeah. I'm going to just say that right there, and I'm going to just leave that right there. And we may or may not revisit that one day. We might. I don't know. But right now, we just going to get into the weekly shenanigans like we get into all the time. Back to school is here. Damn it. Where's my story about the back to school? It's Tennessee. There we go. That's what it is right there. In Tennessee. The school district in Tennessee is no longer accepting doctor's notes, parent notes as a reason for being absent from school. The school district in Tennessee said, hey, if little man is sick more than 8 times, that is grounds for juvenile detention. I think that's insane. Because imagine having a sick kid. A kid that has to go and do like some type of medical procedure or some type of whatever going on, or if you catch the flu and the flu be lasting for at least 7 days. I understand there's 5 days in the school week, but you not accepting a doctor's note? That seems kind of aggressive. Like, and I understand you want to crack down on the truancy and the kids not being in school when they supposed to, but being that strict that you're declining a doctor's note is honestly insane if you ask me. Now, granted, when I was in school, I was never the kid to just be absent OD amount of times. My parents made sure I was in school. You know what I'm saying? Rain, sun, hail, fire. We was in school pretty often and throughout the elements. And I'm grateful that I wasn't like a sickly child that always had to go to the doctor besides like my regular checkups. I did have to go to the dentist office a couple times, but I would go to school and get signed out early type situation. But I could only imagine like the circumstances of like your kid is legit sick or you're sick and you're not able to get up out the crib and bring your kid to school. So you telling me after 8, the truancy truck coming like, yo, it's time to come with us. You going to juvie, you got your tin can and you scraping it against the fence in jail. Like, that's wild, yo. That's strict as hell. That's strict as hell. But man, back to school, like sometimes I wish like to be a kid again, to experience the back to school feeling with the fresh pencils. You know, you line out your outfit and you get ready and you think like, yo, what's this year gonna be like for me? Who I'm gonna try and impress, or who gonna be the crew for the year? Not saying that you change your crew every year, but you know, you got your day ones that you link up with at school. And, you know, somebody might have transferred, somebody might have moved. And I remember in 8th grade, I ended up moving out in Ohio from New York or whatever. And that was a transition for me. It was the wildest thing. I remember in high school, first day of school, I was taking off my book bag and my shoes, thinking that there was a metal detector, like how it is back home in New York, where we had to put our shit through a metal detector. And if we got scanned off, like if we rang off on the joint, we'd have to go get pat down. And I remember doing it. Niggas was looking at me like, yo, what are you doing, fam? Like, we don't do that here. Like, this ain't jail. And I'm just thinking like, wow, you guys don't have metal detectors. And then I also think, wow, you guys need metal detectors, because the amount of school shootings or situations that came about where I feel like a metal detector would have stopped that definitely should have been in the facility where they scanned them book bags, they scanned them shoes, they scanned them bodies and got that up off of y'all, because people out here be wilding. I think there's a few high schools. I could be wrong. I think there was like one high school I visited once for a tournament where I saw they had actual metal detectors, but I know it's not everywhere, because clearly in my high school experience, they didn't have it. They was looking at me like I was a madman when I said that. So yeah, but back to school, it's a fun time. You know what I mean? Stop putting them babies' school name, teacher, and their full name on them pictures though. Stop doing that. That's dangerous, because you setting them up. They be creeps online. Stop putting their full name, their teacher's name, and what school they go to in there. You can put their nickname. You can put what subject they like. And you just leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? This is LaFrederick. LaFrederick is going to the 5th grade. He likes basketball, and he goes to a school. You don't need to give all the details that he's at PS21 and his teacher's Miss Thompson or whatever it is. Like, you don't need to do all that. You need to put the information on blast, dog. Y'all be making it too easy for hackers to hack. Like, the hackers ain't even got to hack. They just got to scroll on your Facebook or your Instagram feed and see, oh, yep, that's easy. Got it, done. You know what I'm saying? So stop doing that nonsense. Also a nonsense news. They are selling adult-sized pacifiers in China. For $70, you can buy you an adult blinged out or regular pacifier as an adult to suck on. Pause. That sounded crazy. But you can buy you a pacifier in China. And I know back in the day at the skating ring, that used to be like a fad. I don't even know if it was a fashion statement or a fad that like having pacifiers was a thing, which I always thought was strange. Like Buddy from Boys in the Hood used to have the pacifier, like, but they're saying that this helps adults with their anxiety, cope with their anxiety, to have an adult size pacifier. First of all, $70 for an adult passy is crazy. Let's start there. That $70 for a pacifier is insane. But let's also dive deeper into that. Your anxiety causes you to need a pacifier to suck on to calm down, dog. All right, I get it. Everybody has something. We all got whatever situation, whatever our thing is. But I honestly feel there got to be another way to it. My bad, I just yelled. I ain't mean to yell. There's got to be another way to help you subdue yourself than popping in a binky and like, yo, you Maggie from The Simpsons. Like, you're 30 with a pacifier in your mouth, and now your teeth gonna expand, and you gonna get a gap. Your teeth gonna be buck, and now you need braces again. You had braces when you was 14 because you used to suck your finger till you was like 16, and now as an adult you coming back with a pacifier. Why? There's got to be another way. I know me, when I get a little anxious, I tend to tug on my beard. But I also now use like the little fidgeter, little button thing, or the little pressure thing that you push. You know, the little, you know what I'm saying? It helps flex the muscles low key. But a pacifier though, as an adult, you copping a pacifier? I need to know if you're an adult and you're willing to cop a pacifier to soothe yourself in the heat of the moment. Because to me, that's a little bizarre. Not gonna lie, that's a little bizarre there, buddy. That's a little bizarre. So, Cybertrucks, y'all. I know that Cybertrucks have been the fad for the last couple years, not even couple years. Yeah, I say last 2, 3 years. I personally am not a fan of Cybertrucks. I think they look ugly. Yeah, I think they look ugly. To me, they look ugly. And the amount of stories I've been hearing about Cybertrucks crashing and malfunctioning and people can't get into them, they're bulletproof. They damn near hammer proof. You got to go to the motherboard and do whatever stuff to get into or to hack into your Cybertruck. But recently, a Detroit rapper by the name of Big Huey, he was shooting a music video in his Tesla smart Cybertruck, excuse me, and the car stopped driving while he was shooting the music video. It stopped midway through. He's rapping, doing his thing, and the Cybertruck stopped. Come to find out, they sent him a cease and desist. A cease and desist for said Cybertruck. Here's the story. There is no story. There is no story. He was mid traffic shooting the video and it just stopped on him. And I think that's crazy. And they gave him a cease and desist for his music video. How is he violating anything when it's his truck and his music? I don't know. There's a lot of fine print involved with Cybertrucks, a lot of details, a lot of intricacies. I said that wrong. Intricacies. Excuse me. That word just whooped my ass. There's a lot of that word. There's a lot of shit that goes into like the agreement and whatever else it is when you get you a Cybertruck that you have to follow, abide by. And I just feel like that's too damn much. I just feel like it's crazy. If I'm spending all these thousands of dollars to get a truck, I should be able to shoot my music video in it and there not be a problem. My man was shooting his video. The truck stopped and they filed a cease and desist immediately. Imagine being on the highway behind this man and you trying to get to the crib and you can't because the Cybertruck stopped. It stopped in the middle of the road, dog. And I was like, yeah, nah, we're not moving forward. You cut that damn music off right now or else. I'm not surprised that it didn't drive him to the nearest Tesla dealer to turn himself in, because that's crazy. Like, there gotta be we have to draw a line when it comes to this technology, man. There has to be a line with the technology on what it can and can't do. And that's one thing I'm fearful of. Like, I love technology. I've loved little smart devices and being able to use apps to do all types of different stuff. But I really think we're like blurring the lines and this is getting too far. We're getting too far in the trenches of technology where the technology is really taking over. Some scary shit, man. It's some scary shit. I couldn't imagine him being in that whip and that happening. That is wild. That is insane to me, dog. Crazy. Another crazy thing that's going on in September 29th, 2025. Ohio is putting a ban on the pornography, on the porn, on your little, your little freaky frogs, your little booty stroganoff, whatever you want to call it. It is putting a ban on the adult sites, where if you want to go onto these adult sites and enjoy some happy time, you have to take a snapshot of your ID before you proceed. You have to take a snapshot of your ID before you get onto these sites to enjoy some happy time. I personally think it's a great idea that things like this start getting regulated. Now everybody's like, oh, it's a free country. I'm an adult. This is my phone. I should be able to do what I want when I want. That's true. If you're an adult. Honestly, I really feel like we shouldn't be watching that stuff OD like that anyway, because it is too easy to access. And if you want to keep an eye on the youth and regulate what they doing, it stops them in them tracks. Shoot, it might stop an adult in their tracks if they getting too carried away and they letting the distraction of the filthy videos ruin their life. Cause just imagine that, fam. You got to do your whole prep, like, you know what I'm saying? You grease up the palms and you back out the ID and you go, ting, scan your ID and then go do what you doing. Like, I just feel like doing that whole process will kill the whole vibe of whatever you tried to get off just now. It will kill the whole vibe. But honestly, we clearly need it because it's getting out of hand, dog. It's getting out of hand where just it's polluting the minds. It's polluting our minds, man. It really is. Like I said before, we got to get out of that matrix. That's one of them things that I have you in the matrix, fam. If you dip and dabble too damn much, you'll find yourself in a rut that we need to dig yourself up out of. So yeah. Put your hands up and your palms away. Hands up, palms away. That's gonna be the campaign. Hands up, palms away. If you see that, I need y'all to say that in the comments. Hands up, palms away, y'all. We gotta clean our minds, man. We gotta detox all the stuff that we thought was cool and thought was acceptable. We gotta get that up out of our system, man. Start unplug from the matrix and relinquish that control from the outside and get the control back for us. We got to take control, guys. We got to do that. So the owner of Trump Burger has been deported. The owner of Trump Burger has been deported. Imagine being so much of a cornball and a weasel that you make a restaurant highlighting, honoring Donald Trump, and you're making fun of people who are getting deported. And you yourself as the owner are not a documented citizen. So when you get all this fame from going viral for this buffoonery, they do some checks and realize that you ain't got them papers. You don't got your papers, but you playing the fool. You playing the fool, and you ain't got the papers. That's embarrassing, son. That's really embarrassing to me. Because imagine that. I could not imagine he flipping patties, he doing the expose. They like, yeah, man, what part of town you from? What part of town I'm from? I ain't from around here, cuz. They check. Oh, you never got your green card. Get him up out of here. Get him up out of here now. Not now, but right now. Get him out of here. Embarrassing, dog. Freaking embarrassing. So the NBA is almost back, y'all. And I'm very excited. I'm very excited that basketball is almost back. And basketball will be on damn near every network of every day of the week. According to the report, we got basketball on ABC, NBC, Peacock, ESPN, and Amazon Prime. And I'm going to say it early. It's our time this season. And by whose time is ours? Knicks tape. It's the Knicks season this year. Knicks get a ring, I get a ring. How about that? Knicks get a ring, I get a ring. I get a ring, Knicks get a ring. You know what I'm saying? That's how we gonna call that for the next season. Something just came across the feed. Sean Kingston and his moms have been sentenced to 3.5 years for their $1 million fraud scheme. Damn, and she received 5 years. Jeez Louise. Imagine being that much of a greaseball. You get your mom roped in your shenanigans. You get your moms roped in your shenanigans because y'all perpetrating fraud and $1 million worth of fraud, whatever the nonsense is. I forget exactly what the details are, but the fact that you get 3.5 years, but your moms get 5? Come on, Sean. Come on, Sean. You gonna let your mom sit for 5? For a nickel. You letting my Duke sit for a 5-piece while you get 3.5. And they may just get off, you know what I'm saying, do some probation, some community service. But the fact that she got the bigger bid is nuts. Yo, I would never I consider myself to be a person that's on the straight and narrow. Honest man, you know what I'm saying? I get my living honestly by the things I do. But I could never imagine being that down bad that I involve my mom into some shenanigans. Even if it was her idea, my mom is not even that type of person, but imagine that being down bad, that bad, and you and your moms get into some shit. Y'all get into some shit, and y'all both in the bank now. That's rough. That's really that's really trench behavior, dog. Eliante, you ain't gotta ever worry about me getting you involved in none of that nonsense. I would never do that to you. Respectfully. I would never get you involved in nothing that would jeopardize your freedom. Nah. That's craziness. On the subject of music, SeaWorld has basically rebranded as Spring Bling. SeaWorld has taken the place of Spring Bling. And I'll be honest, I feel cheated. As someone who grew up as a millennial, and I am now 33, I feel like I was cheated out of the Spring Bling experience, where I did not get to go on spring break as a college kid and enjoy Spring Bling and see some of my favorite rappers and R&B singers perform on the beach at Virginia Beach, at Long Beach, Virginia Beach, where else they go? South Beach, whatever the beach was, I missed out on that because when I became an adult, that's when they decided to start doing away with the music videos, start to do away with the spring break challenges and all the cool fly shit that I grew up watching, thinking like, yo, when I get older, man, I'm gonna go on that show. I'm gonna be on the real world. I'm gonna be in the house picked with 11 strangers, faced with other challenges. I'm gonna do that. And that got clipped as soon as I became of age. That got clipped. But SeaWorld has rebranded itself as basically Spring Bling. You got Soulja Boy, Bow Wow, Fat Joe, Genuine, all these people performing at SeaWorld as if it's Spring Bling. They said they done niggified SeaWorld. They want to know who the PR is. The PR got to be somebody who worked at BT in the past. I need to know. And I'm going to be honest, I need parts. I not only want to go to a SeaWorld nigga show, but I want to be a part of a SeaWorld nigga show. Respectfully. Put me behind the boards. Shucks, get me and Uncle Trey out there. We could open up for somebody, or we could be the main act. Shucks. Let's put that in the universe. Yeah, book us so we could perform. You know what I'm saying? Nothing better. Shucks. We could get out there and we can do our thug this on Spring Bling. On SeaWorld Bling. What you think about that, Uncle Trey? I'm gonna send this to you. This gonna be our pitch. Since SeaWorld is redoing stuff, you know what I'm saying? They bringing in the rappers. They gonna bring us in, all right? Get you know what I'm saying? Get your silky ready. I got me some silkies in the closet. Get your silkies ready, fam, because we going to Spring Bling. We going to SeaWorld Bling. It's us. We doing that, all right? Shucks. To close out, though, I skipped my music segment a couple weeks in a row. I started with it, and I have not kept up with it. I've been listening to some music. Of course, that Freddie Gibbs album with The Alchemist, fire. We already talked about the clips, fire. But let's just do a blast from the past. August 11th, and I know I'm a couple weeks late, stall me out. Pardon your mother, not me. Off the Wall debuted August 11th, 1979. And to me, Off the Wall might be one of Michael Jackson's best albums. I'm just saying. Off the Wall, the song Off the Wall. You gotta, I wanna shout and just enjoy yourself. Living off the wall, without life off the wall. Yeah, yo. Off the Wall is definitely one of Mike Jackson's best albums. To me. You may agree. That might not be a hot take, actually. It might not be a hot take. It might not be a hot take, actually, while I'm saying this like this. It might not be a hot take. And also, 15 years ago, August 3rd, 2010, peak blog era, Wale dropped More About Nothing. Damn. Come on, man. That joint, More About Nothing. Yo, More About Nothing is easily one of the best mixtapes in the blog era. Matter of fact, mixtapes, period. You know what I'm saying? At one point, Wale was one of my favorite rappers. Now, if you know me for a while, y'all know me and Buddy didn't really see eye to eye well on social media. It's neither here nor there. Doesn't take away to some. Well, I got to sneeze, but it's not sneeze. Pause. Me and Wale have had our shared differences across the socials over the better half of 15 years. Matter of fact, 12, 15 years. We done got into a few spats on the internet, but you know what? Still supported your music, dog. More About Nothing was a solid project. Breakup song? Are you kidding me? Breakup song, one of the best breakup songs. I ain't never had no specific situation like that, but no, close, but not exactly, if that makes sense. Yeah, man. More About Nothing is definitely up there to me. Is in my music. It's definitely in my music hall of fame. Like, definitely in my music hall of fame. Gotta do one more time before we close out. Pay respects to the late, great Nipsey Hussle, who would have been 40. He would have been 40 August 15th, so rest in peace to him. Still crazy, man. I still feel like it's a glitch in the Matrix that Nipsey and Kobe passed, man. Like, that is crazy. Years later. I remember getting a tattoo the day he passed. I remember being on the tattoo table, checking Twitter, and seeing those stream of tweets come by. Oh, pray for Nip. He gonna pull through, or what the hell, Nip, blah, 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 blah. And as you know, internet, you just get to scrolling and you just see stuff that you really don't really intend to see or want to see, but you see it. Yikes. Yikes. Ooh. Before I go, New Jersey enacts an ordinance to punish parents for teen misconduct. Remember, we talked about this a couple weeks ago, where the parents of the minors can face up to a $2,000 fine, jail time of 90 days, or both. So if your little knucklehead teenager act up, you can pay a $2,000 fine or sit in jail for 90 days. Yup. Get your YNs in order, man. Get your YNs in order, because them little YNs be tripping. But what do I want to leave on the deep end, the deep message of the day? Because I've been in that bag of like trying to drill things home. Stand your ground. And I don't mean stand your ground by like shooting and fighting nobody at the crib, but stick to your guns. If you say something, mean it. Show it. Show that you mean it, but mean it. Don't just say shit for the sake of saying it because it sound good or you think you should say it. Back that shit up. All right? Say what you mean and mean what you say. If you say you're not doing something, don't do it. If you say you're going to do something, do it. If you're not going to tolerate something, don't. Straight up. Because I'll be honest, man. I said I was going to do it. I'm going to just say this. People would have me messed up. And I said what I said. Stand in my ground on that. So stand your ground. Don't be afraid. Life is going to give you challenges when you declare that you want greatness. And greatness requires a lot of determination. So you got to be determined, and you also got to hold yourself down for what you said you're going to hold yourself down for. So don't be afraid. Don't let niggas punk you. Don't let niggas punk you, dog. You the big dog in your life. So act like it. All right? As always, y'all, follow the socials. Interact with the posts. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Continue to rock with me, support me. For the people who I said before I would have as guests, the deals are still there. Don't fret. You working out this season 3 right here. But I got y'all. If I told you I got you, I got you. If we talked about it, I got you. Or if we ain't talk about it and you want to talk about it, I'll let you call up. Hit my page or hit my DM. Respectfully, though. Don't come at me crazy. I'm going to sign off out of here. Y'all be cool. Y'all be smooth. Have a great week. Hey.